You know the feeling. You open your email and stare at hundreds of unread newsletters, promotional blasts, and random sales pitches. So you go on a cleaning spree, furiously scrubbing your inbox and clicking unsubscribe on every message you don't recognize. But a few days later, instead of a pristine inbox, you're getting hit with twice as much junk. By trying to opt out, you somehow triggered a massive spike in new spam. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the architecture of email itself. The system we rely on today is 30 years old, built for a smaller, highly trusting internet. It was designed simply to move text from one machine to another, with absolutely zero safeguards for user privacy built into the code. 70% of marketing emails contain a hidden tracking pixel. When opened, your client downloads this tiny image from a remote server. This single fetch request carries a massive payload, logging your IP address, physical location, open time, and device type. You didn't click a link, and you didn't hit reply. Your email operates as an active surveillance beacon, and your simple curiosity is the trigger. Let's slow down time to the exact millisecond you click an unsubscribe link. That single action sends a data packet out into the web, and its destination determines whether you are safe or compromised. Let's trace path A. Your request travels to a legitimate, registered commercial entity. These companies are strictly bound by the CAN-SPAM Act, a federal law governing commercial emails. Under this law, companies have exactly 10 business days to honor your opt-out request. If they ignore it or try to charge you a fee to leave their list, federal regulators can hit them with severe fines, up to $53,000 per violating email. But the law is just the baseline. The major inbox providers, like Google and Yahoo, enforce their own strict bulk sender rules. They require massive email marketers to maintain spam complaint rates below 0.1% and implement secure one-click unsubscribe systems. These systems use what's called a list unsubscribe header. It allows your email client to securely sever your connection to the mailing list locally, without you ever having to visit the sender's website or fill out a preference form. In this scenario, clicking the opt-out link works. It is a legally protected remedy, guaranteed entirely by the fact that the sender has a physical address, a real business, and a financial reputation to lose. But then there is path B. This is what happens when your click travels to a malicious spammer operating far outside any legal jurisdiction. This diagram shows the brutal economics of the spam industry. Spammers cause roughly $20 billion in societal costs, but they only generate $200 million in revenue. That is a staggering 100-to-1 ratio of external damage to internal profit. Because their profit margins are so incredibly thin, spammers operate by blasting millions of messages into the void, hoping to hit a real person. They are desperate to figure out which email addresses are actually monitored by a human being. And that is the trap. When you receive a piece of spam and click unsubscribe, you aren't removing your name from a database. You are acting as a heartbeat monitor. You send a signal back to the spammer confirming that your inbox is active and receptive to clicks. The moment your email is validated, its value skyrockets. The spammer instantly sells your active address to other data brokers, or they shift you over to a priority list for highly targeted phishing attacks. Your attempt to clean up your digital life had the exact opposite effect. You didn't opt out of their marketing. You verified your opt-in to the dark web's active target list. Fortunately, the hardware and software industries are escalating a massive counteroffensive to protect users from this invisible tracking. Instead of your device downloading images, a proxy server intercepts tracking requests and pre-fetches the email content. This proxy mechanism intentionally poisons the marketer's database. Beaming back spoofed IP addresses and randomized open times floods the sender with white noise, rendering their behavioral analytics useless. But technology alone isn't enough. If you want to keep your inbox clean, you need to follow a strict triage rule, and it all depends on the true identity of the sender. If the email comes from a known legitimate brand, a store you shop at, or a newsletter you actually signed up for, use the unsubscribe link. But if the sender is completely unknown, sketchy, or aggressive, never click a single link. Instead, hit the Report Spam button. Reporting a message as spam weaponizes your inbox against the sender. It feeds the platform's algorithms the data needed to block that source globally, starving the spam economy of its most valuable resource, your attention.